What's up, family? What's splash? Welcome back to another episode with Professor X. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, everybody's having a good morning so far. Thanks for all of you who have sent me emails just asking for advice. A lot of people are in relationships and just wanted a couple pointers and thought that I would be able to help them, and I do appreciate that. Hopefully, you said that it helped. Hopefully, it has. This topic that I want to talk about, the thinking of modern women, comes from a subscriber, a man who was thinking about getting married for the second time. And he's concerned that I believe his fiance, maybe still girlfriend, is more of a modern type woman versus a traditional type woman. He said from watching my videos, he was starting to dissect between the two. And he asked me would I do another video focusing even more on how they think that would kind of give him some clues. So that's what I want to do on this one. I want to talk about in some way or another the thinking of the modern woman. Most of the time, I'm gonna have to decode some stuff. Those of you that have watched my videos, every once in a while I have to decode what's really going on. Most of the time, when a woman says she's independent, the way that men receive that, the way we normally interpret that is, I'm able to take care of myself financially. That's normally what we interpret that to mean. It's the way they say it, the way women flow with it. We making money now, we educated now, we got houses now, we doing this now, we doing that now, we independent. And so we run everything. Even if they say we're going to college, that just tells us okay, she's able to make money. We got our own house now. Okay, she's made some money. Okay, we driving nice cars now. Okay, she's made some money. See what I'm saying? Everything that when a woman speaks like that, we automatically interpret and translate that to finance. But here's what I want to point out, in particular to the man who emailed me, and then just for understanding to all of us. If you listen deeper, if you listen closely, and I will have to decode it here, there is a hidden meaning when a woman says that she's independent. Because what she's really saying, if you listen deeper, listen to her pain, listen to her anguish, listen to her struggle, what she's really saying, and pay attention to this, my God, men, pay attention to this. She's really saying, and she says, I want to be independent, or I am independent. I don't want to be under anyone's authority. That's what she's really saying. We interpret it as she's financially independent. They're not saying just financially independent. When they say they're independent, they're talking from a position of their mindset. They do not want to be under anyone's authority. So the independence becomes less about money and more about accountability. I'm speaking from experience here. When me and my ex-wife went to get separated, because in the state of North Carolina, you have to be separated for a year. One of the last conversations that we had about our relationship, she wanted me to be clear before I moved out and got my own apartment. She said, just so you know, and we understand, I am no longer under your authority. I said, that is correct. Because what she was saying to me and to herself is, I'm now independent from you. I was a wife to you. You was a husband to me for 20 years. Once you walk out that door and we start this separation, I'm free. I said, correct. Now, don't get it twisted on this. Women, and this is where men can get confused, because women still want the benefits of marriage. They still want the stability. No, they still want that. They still want the home. They paying for their own home, but I promise you they want you to pay for it. They still want the companionship. They still want the kids. They still want the home. They still want all the protection. But they also want their freedom of independence. See, that's the conflict. Women do want the home. They want the privacy fence. They want the kids that look just like y'all, that get the oohs and the ahs, and you bring them up and you put them through college and you send them on their way. They want the companionship. They don't want to lay in bed by themselves at night. They want somebody to talk to. They want somebody to travel with. And unless they are whole for real, they don't want to be just giving them cheeks up to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. They don't want to do that. They do want a level of stability. They want to know that you're going to go to work, come back, bills are going to be paid. But they also want the freedom of independence, which is making choices without having to answer to anyone, which is a contradiction, because you can't have complete independence and partnership at the same time. This is the thinking of modern women, my boy, my viewers. This is the thinking. This is why I'm telling y'all it's gonna get confused. I'm telling y'all, I've been telling y'all, it's going to get worse. Because modern women, the way they think, they're going to want to have it their way. And they're not gonna, modern thinking woman is not going to allow herself to come under the authority of a man. Now, men can say, then you just stay single. If that's the way you want to do it, then you just stay single. And then they're going to say, fine, we're better off without y'all anyway. But you got to realize that so many years of that is going to create problems within itself. Just take my word for it. When the family goes downhill, when the structure and the dynamic of family, it's already, look at where we came from, y'all, in the last 50 years. We went from complete homes. Yes, maybe they had secrets in there, had stuff going on. We went from complete homes to split homes where the kids was primarily being raised by a single mother, to now we're going to eventually be transitioning into no homes, because as the old heads continue to go up and pass on and the new modern way of thinking take over, family is not going to be at all, because modern thinking woman is going to want her independence. Marriage, by definition itself, involves accountability. Man to a woman, woman to man. It means I'm responsible to my spouse. See, that's what accountability means, and they don't want to do that. I'm responsible to my spouse for my actions. I'm responsible to my spouse for my decisions. I'm responsible to my spouse for my lifestyle. The modern thinking woman is not going to want to do that. So marriage as we know it, in order for them to get what they want, marriage as we know it either must go away, or nobody is going to be in relationships that looks like a family. Remember, accountability means I am responsible to you. And you are responsible to me for the decisions that you make, for the lifestyle that you live, for the choices that come out of you, for your behavior. We're responsible and accountable to one another. The modern thinking woman, she's not going to go with that. And let me add, as I close, I'm not even saying that all of them intentionally mean this to be evil. Some women will reject the authority of men or her man because men in the past has abused their leadership as a husband and may have ruled with an iron fist and may have ruled in a very dogmatic fashion, not considering his wife. It is my way or the highway. And a woman may see that as abuse of power. And so now she may say to herself, I'm not going to allow myself to be subject to that kind of a lifestyle, because there really were men who abused their leadership. But whether you mean it intentionally, that I want my freedom, or unintentionally because of what you have seen in your life or heard about, the end result is the same. You cannot have a marriage where two people are not accountable to one another. And that's the big thing that modern thinking women is going to try to get away from. If you watch social media, they're on there every day and they're literally saying the same thing. I woke up one day and realized I was tired of somebody else making decisions for me. In other words, they wanted their freedom of independence. From stories they have heard to friends of theirs, or just being tired of the situation that they in, they wanted to be free. And they are willingly leaving men that they're saying are good men in order to reach this freedom. So once again, I say, in your dating process, as you're getting to know one another, especially if you're a traditional thinking man or woman, make sure to find out, how do they see accountability? Because if this woman does not believe in coming under the authority of a man who loves her and respects her and honors her, if she don't believe that she's accountable to you for her decisions, her lifestyle, her actions, none of that, and she wants to be free to live her life the way she want to live it, but you are a partnership in the walk of life, that is not a marriage. That is exactly what they say will become if we move in, what they say, just a roommate. You will have a roommate that you have kids with, but you will not have a marriage without accountability one to another. Bye.